Hello, folks, and welcome back to Parkitect. This is our last episode of Dollarwood. I thought we'd take a brief overlook of the entire area and then go on some of the rides, and hopefully everything will work out all honky-dory. So take a look here. We started off with this coaster down here. It's not a crazy complicated layout, but it interacts with itself quite nicely. I think the first thing we built was this area right here, which is our food area. This is all station. Then we had a break dance. Then we went in and added on our wave swing. Then we have a car ride. We built on the bumper cars. Then we have the jumper area. And then we also added on this, which is our junior coaster. I don't remember if we went over here to the Mayan Incan area next or if we did this. So I'm going to go back here. We have the clockwork. Underneath a stick of dynamite is you can just see that little strip of blue right there. But that's going to be the log flume. We then have a runaway mine train coaster. We have a Ferris wheel, and then we have a log flume, or not a log flume, excuse me, a river rapids ride. Going up to our area here. This is just a dark enclosed ride. Ghost train, I think is what it's called, but it's not really ghost-like at all. And then we have a coaster to support that. And then there's a little restroom area, but it's not a crazy complicated area. It's only 2 rides, but it's one of the better themed areas and one of the ones that I really got excited about when we started off here. After that, we went and did our boardwalk area. So the pathways get much wider than what they do in some other parts of the park, but we have all of that. We have a spiral slide. We have, what is this, Power Surge? Is that what it's called? Yeah, Power Surge. Look at me. We have this bad boy, and then underneath here, if we go V, there's also a motion simulator with a pirate ship, and then we have a coaster that runs an out and back along the water, along with some buoys that light up, which is cool. After that, we put on this area here, which consists of 3 rides, I believe. Yeah, 3 rides. We have a coaster here, not a big deal. From there, we have teacups, and then we also have a star flyer. And then our final themed area here was Spaceport 17, which is a hydraulically launched coaster. We have a 3D cinema. We have a G-Lock. And then we also have down here, this is another coaster. So again, nothing crazy complicated as far as the rides go, but kind of fun. And then the final thing we did was build this little go-kart track here, which kind of keeps the green theme kind of moving through the park. So let's get out of map mode here and let's go over into here and let's ride our first ride here. So I click on it and I'm going to hit the letter R if it works. It doesn't seem to want to work right now, so that's fine. But let's take a look at the interaction of the rides. It goes through this, then it will start taking off here. And I like the interactions these have with each other as the ride goes through. So you can see we have that. We did have 5 trains at one point on here, but we just don't have that now because it crashed at one point and unfortunately had some problems. So this thing really gets moving after that second launch. Then comes up to our tilt drop, and from the tilt drop, this guy should release around the same time, so there's some interaction between the 2 rides. You can see that that's tilting. This guy should be closing. It's going to hold there for a second. This guy's going to go through and do its thing, and on its way down, this one's going to come underneath of it. There we go. And then they should interact one more time as this one's coming into the brake run. This guy should be going off through the second launch here. So you can see it's kind of racing it along, and then boom, it skyrockets through there. All right, we have a little break dance back here, which is a nice little area. I'd like to work on the lighting there a little bit more. We have this, which I like, and I really like the car ride. I think the car ride's one of the first rides I built in this park that was nice. Oh, this area needs to be cleaned up. I forgot to do that. I'll get that taken care of at some point. This area, I'm not happy with this opening here, nor this kind of area here, but the clockwork looks great. I'm actually pretty happy with these 2 buildings here. They fit in nicely with the area. They look nice. I'm cool with all of that. You can see that there is that ride that's going through. And if we take a look, it does have a line, which is nice. We have the Ferris wheel. Inside this orange building here, we have our mine train. And then the log flume kind of interacts through there. They go up through this. And then our mine train here is going to go in and do its thing. It's not a super long ride, but it doesn't need to be. And then we have our food area and another station that's underneath all this for that area. We have a little junior coaster here, which I like. The layout is actually pretty solid for a junior coaster. I didn't do the best job trying to figure out this building. I spent a long time on it and just kind of gave up towards the end, but that's okay. I'm not too worried about that. The ride works and it looks nice as it goes through there, even though it looks like you're going to lose your head on that corner there. And this is the first brake run that we really spent some time theming and doing stuff with. The jumper's always a cool ride visually, and it's a really fun ride overall. Bumper cars are nice. This guy here fit the theming decently well, so we tried to carry over the feel and look of all that stuff. And then we did our first real themed area where we had rock work that changes where you enter and leave these areas. So if we go over here, we know we have fireworks, and then we have a big sea of red. In the future, I'd like to change up these colors a little bit, maybe get some grays or greens or even gold colors and reverse them, or do the inverse there, so we have all of that. Then we have the backdrop here, which unfortunately is a lot of space stuff, but that's kind of the considerations that we had to make. There's also another little area here that I missed as far as plants go, and a little bit back here, and a little bit right there. But again, it's all stuff. No park is ever finished or perfect. So let's go over to this area here, which is our most recent one. I really like these entrances. This one, and particularly this one, I think looks kind of neat. I think there's a little too much going on, so I shortened that up a bit, but I digress. It's okay. This building I kind of really dig. It came out nice. It's a simple building for a really simple ride, but it does the job. I like the launch area that we have here with the smoke coming up. I think that's cool. The vehicle assembly building is, I like it. As far as the building goes, it works. The only thing I don't like is that it comes through here, but I can't do much about that with the space that I had. With the G-lock, which I know I've seen these come out of the walls a little bit. You need to give a little bit more padding, but I didn't do that. And then we have our launch coaster here, which I quite like. It's not my favorite ride I've ever built, but I do like that it dives back through the station a little bit. It has another fairly large drop going into some things and just kind of does some twisting back there. And then this coaster right here. I'm really happy with this one. Let's take a look when we have the trains leaving the station, which should happen any moment. The timing on this is phenomenal. So this guy's going up. It's already cleared that brake run, so it's out of there. This guy's going to drop. And before he gets to this one, we'll have this guy clear this back brake. So he's going in there. We'll dive down into our pretzel loop. Dive down again into the other part of the pretzel loop. That's cleared that first one. This guy's leaving now. This guy's going to clear that one. And as that one's now clear, this guy's ready to go. So the timing on these is just bang, bang. I didn't plan it that way. It just seemed to work out that way. And I'm really happy with it. I also kind of dig the station here. It's not my favorite. It's not the best thing I've ever built, but it's not bad. This food area is hopping. It's okay. Same with the teacups. I don't like the colors on here. I think it could have done better. This guy's not a big deal, the free fall. But I'm happy. Actually, one of the favorite things of this is this ride right here. I don't know why, but I just really love that it's just a slow-paced ride that interacts nicely with all the areas around it, and works out quite nicely. Same can be said with the go-karts. It just fits in and looks nice. And then we have our boardwalk area here. Now, the coaster itself looks very nice. It has decent pacing. It's really just a classic out and back. There's nothing special about it, but it does its thing quite nicely. And I like that we have the buoys and the whatever these things are to stop everything from doing its thing. And then it should come flying out here into its final brake run in just a moment. And there we go. And we have an unload station, which is nice. You can see that there's only one train here. I think there's there's another one out already on the course doing its thing. So that's really the park as a whole. I'm really, really happy with how this came out. There's still some things I need to fix and do, like this grass area here. We have another grass area over here that I need to deal with. And then there's still a little bit more. If we wanted to, we could put something in here. But sometimes less is more, and I think we packed a lot into this park. Let's take a look at the fireworks show as nighttime approaches here. And we have the shows going off, all the things firing, yay us. And I'm just really happy with how this came out. I like the little spotlights on this, how it all came out there, spotlight on that. These little orbs look really cool going through that. And then we have all of this. I'd like to add a little bit more lighting back here, but that's a future problem of mine. And I like the boardwalk area. It's just lit up. It looks like a boardwalk. Even though this building is enormous and sprawling, it makes sense for what it is and what it does. And then we have individual buildings for some of the other things. This area over here, this thing just screams. It looks great. This looks great. Everything's well lit over on this area. I really like the dynamite stick and the lighting around here. And then that we have a ride that has lights on the front of it at nighttime. and then that we put these lanterns in our last episode. It just looks really nice. I really need to work on my buildings. I think ride-wise, I'm okay. I like my coasters. I like some of the other things that we have here, but I really need to work on buildings. If you take a look at some of the buildings, there's some interesting things here, but there's also a lot of kind of blah. I don't really need to expand upon where they're just kind of boring. Like this building, the vehicle assembly building, it's supposed to be a boring building, and hopefully I added enough little detail in there to make it interesting. This building is super funky and weird, but I was just trying to do something different and kind of vary our style. So like even like this roof here, just trying to do some different things to make it look more interesting and to fill out some more stuff. So at the present time, we have almost $100,000. We're at $92,000, and our park guest is at $2,246, which I think is by far the most I've had in any particular park. And if we go ahead and take a look at our guest, they're very happy. They're not very tired. They're somewhat hungry and thirsty. Toilets are okay. Nausea is fine, and immersion is way up there. And then if we take a look here, the number one thing people are saying is that the scenery is amazing, and that they really like Wave Chaser. For whatever reason, that ride is keeping them going. So Wave Chaser, all right, we're doing good there. But folks, that's going to wrap us up here. I want to thank you for joining me as we went through these parks and did all the things. I really enjoyed this. This is one of the first ones where I've just gone through and built something totally for fun and tried to do different themed areas. I'm really happy with how it came out in general. I think there's lots of color, lots of things going on, and I just need to work on my buildings a little bit more. But let me know what you think. What else can I do to make this place better? And what do I need to work on for my next attempt at something like this? Folks, thanks again for joining me. I appreciate your time, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.